Here, especially our two candidates from Tobago, East and West. They came back last night because they were so impressed with the meeting in Manzanilla. They wanted to come to Grande tonight, and tomorrow morning they will be at San Fernando West when we open the San Fernando West office at 9:30 a.m. And if you push them, they may stay until the weekend. But the fact is that they're here. I thank all of you. I thank also to again publicly my dear Deputy Political Leader, Dr. Lena Wolf, for her splendid meeting last night. It was far, far beyond my expectation. And Lena, I want to thank you publicly for that last night. Before I start, can I start okay tonight? Okay tonight? Oh, good. I remember, I know you were embarrassed a bit last night, so I have to make sure I'm not embarrassed tonight. I want to thank also to young Crystal Charles, brilliant as she is. I tell you the future of politics in Trinidad and Tobago. She's in good hands. And I want to say more so in particularly Sangre Grande, and for the Francois to have chosen her as his campaign manager, some vision and wisdom and parallel. I thank him for that. I listened to Rika Ramjit also talking to you, and at one point she was speaking about the housing, and I was saying to myself when she was speaking, it's the first country I know where for houses they have a random selection, but the people who are selected already in the audience. And then the keys. I don't understand it. Random selection. And those are random selection by lottery and so on. People serve already, getting the keys and so on. I mean, this country is amazing. Amazing. Right? Yes, as we can say, the bride. The bride. So I want to thank her for her enlightened dissertation tonight. I appreciate it very much. But the fire, the spirit, I heard from Dane tonight, I've never heard before. I am particularly pleased with him. He of course showed you his commitment, his dedication, his devotion. I pained with him when he spoke about the kind of work, or poverty I should say, that exists in this constituency. A constituency that is rich in nature, rich in experience, rich in honesty. You can leave your house open in Sansuzi or Kumana or Togo, leave it open and go back the following morning, nothing is missing. It is the last area in Trinidad and Tobago, the last virgin area where you can live as you used to live long ago. And to know that this constituency is being raped as it has been raped through those quarries is painful. You recall when I was in Kumana, I did say in Kumana that those people who have beach houses all along the coast from Salabia up to Madlot, and they come there once a fortnight, once a month, sometimes not at all. And when they come with all their grocery, even the water they come with. They buy nothing from the community, nothing from Salabia, nothing from Togo, nothing from Kumana. They come with everything. I said to you that what we have to do is to put a special tax on them, because they must pay something back to the community in which they have their palatial homes, including Japanese. I said so. And similarly also too, I said to them tonight that those quarry owners have to put back something in Togo Sangre Grande. And we have to tax them accordingly. When you travel through this constituency and you see the scars in the land, the large basins filled with water, mosquito and lava being collected, nobody is concerned. They come, they dig and they leave. And they leave Togo Sangre Grande much poorer for it. We have to tax them. And they must be taxed by the corporation, and the money must come to the corporation for the development of this constituency. It pained me today, it pained me too when I read 6 contractors got 240 acres of virgin territory, state land to quarry. And when I look at these 6 contractors, I saw among them Calco, I saw Ramit, I saw Fidesz. And by the way, Fidesz and Calco are the same thing. 2 companies, 1 man. Right? I saw all of them. And I asked myself, what is happening to this country? I know of a company, MFRA and Company Limited, that came to me when I was Minister of Works and Transport. That is some 5 years ago. And applied for a quarry. 5 years now. And up to now, nada, nothing. But they find Fidesz, they find Calco, they find Ramit. Because you know why? Everything has to flow in a small clique. The same people, as Dan said, who own Sagaramas. The same people who build the palaces in Millennium Park. The same people who get $4 and $5 billion in contracts. Everything going to one source only. And therefore, then I tell you, that must stop. That will stop. But for it to stop, it can only stop based on the collective efforts of all of you. They alone can't do it. Rachel alone can't do it. I alone can't do it. All of us have to do it. And that's why we are here. And I wasn't talking about France, about Ben Sancho. Ben Sancho. So, I like what he said. Last Sunday, I was walking in the market with Dane, and people were telling me how Sancho come and buy market for them. I said, bring him back tomorrow. Let him buy market for you every day. And take the market from him. Because it's SIS money, and SIS money is Cameron state money. Yes. So it's no big thing really for him. Your books take it. Yes. That idiot says that he will build a stadium inside Grande. What does that do to put food on your table? This country already has 4 stadia, and all of these stadia are underutilized. Underutilized. Are you building a 5th? That comes like the Children's Hospital in Cuba. They built a hospital in Cuba for $1.6 billion. A hospital in Cuba for $1.6 billion. And Mount Hope is 15 minutes away. Why the hell you don't fix Mount Hope? Why you don't fix San Fernando? But to fix those hospitals, the kickback wouldn't be large. And then when they build a hospital in Cuba, and it will cost a patient, when you look at the cost of the hospital and the equipment and so on, it will cost the government $10,000 per day per patient to stay there. How would they maintain that in the first case? So when Sancho comes here to talk to his foolishness for building a stadium, and he will get this country in the World Cup, he doesn't even know he reached the World Cup. He didn't know. And when he reached the World Cup, the only goal this country scored is when Sancho scored himself. One goal. That is his claim to fame. You would never see a fellow like Latifi or York in this foolishness that he's in now. Because they were true and genuine footballers. Not Sancho, the imposter. At the end of the day, he believes that he could stay in Belmont and represent you. He believes that he could stay in Belmont and represent you. But I tell you something. If you take God from your thoughts and do that, you'll eat the bread the devil needs. It has to be possible. Sancho is from Belmont and the parent is from Tagariga. Dane is homebred. And therefore, I'm saying to you that your faith has to be in Dane. Tonight, before I talk to you, I want to tell you I got some news. I got some news that they just paid the first $2 million for the last Alturas Commission of Inquiry. Remember? There was a commission of inquiry about Las Alturas, which of course they said was embarrassed Keith Rowley. That also collapsed. They embarrassed Keith Rowley, got in the lease, and they paid the first checks today. And they paid $2 million for the first payment. The second payment of $2 million is supposed to come in a week time. And of that payment, Jack Dave Singh got $666,000.
So what they doing right?
And of course, I didn't tell you where half of that has to go back to. You have to know that you're foolish. Right? But that is the money they pay today. Now tell me something. They're paying that for Las Alturas. And people in Tokosa and Grande can't get houses. You can't get of course jobs.
666 is the mark.
And I tell you tomorrow, I didn't just tell you 666 is the mark of the beast. Right? You can't get jobs. And today, because you're white, that is where their priority is. I have to say again and again that something has to be wrong with Kamala. You know, I look back and say to myself, everything that lady has tried since I left her has failed. Has failed. I mean, whether it's the Constitutional Amendment Bill, whether it's the third force, or by the way, the third force I came back. Yeah, I had the third force back in town now, at a press conference. The Griffiths weren't there, but there had a press conference, and Carson Charles said, you have to make Kamala Prime Minister again. But after he said so, I said, oh, this is the third fact. Because he couldn't be serious. He couldn't be serious. I mean, I would have thought that Carson Charles is an intelligent person. But I must understand what my grandma said to me, that common sense is stronger than book sense. That's book sense. So in Carson's case, he has book sense. But you who have to vote have common sense. And you know that the blight in this country is Kamala. It's Kamala. And I say Kamala. As I say Kamala, I sat down and there thinking, you know all the violence in this country, Kamala is the cause?
Yes.
You know it was Kamala. It was Kamala as Minister of Education who said in schools, no corporal punishment. Overnight. So the schools therefore got government. It is Kamala who banned in the schools corporal punishment. It is Kamala who banned the OPVs from coming here. And therefore no OPVs, you have a free for all with guns and drugs and so on. And in doing that also, she encouraged her friends and financiers, almost all of whom know on the drug trade, 2 chicken in Pandisas, or whatever it is, because for her friends. So you trace Kamala from primary school as minister to where she is now, and you can lay the violence in this country at her feet. At her feet. And that is her legacy in this country. That is her legacy. And when she comes to you and she brings Sancho to you, is an insult. What is more painful, though Griffith is not my favorite person, Rupert Griffith, Kamala did not even have the courtesy to tell Griffith before that Sancho will replace him. She first gave Griffith to act as Minister of Sport in the Ministry of Sport. She take it away and gives Sancho. Then she take away Griffith constituency and she gives Sancho. So poor Griffith did not understand very early in the game what was happening. Didn't understand. And that is Kamala. Ask me, very early I said, a kiss from Kamala is a kiss of death. I said so. And very early, when I come with my next revelation, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see what I'm talking about? But before I continue tonight, however, I want to go a little different tonight. Because I found it very, very rewarding and refreshing when someone could join the ILP even at this point in time. I'm talking about a gentleman who was born on November 29, 1958, in Roxborough, Betty's Hope, Tobago. I'm talking about a young man who attended Roxborough Secondary School, a young man who worked as a temporary postman before joining the army in 1979. A man who worked with the UN peacekeeping force to restore stability in Haiti in 1995. A man who traveled to Spain, England, Holland, Turkey, Russia, and Brazil. I'm talking about a man who has an associate degree in tourism management and can speak Spanish fluently. I'm talking about a man who represented this country in Panama Drafts tournament in Brazil, 2009. I'm talking about a man who retired from the army in 2005. A man who has 3 daughters. I'm talking about a man who said that he wants to join this party because for him, this party is the only hope. I'm talking about a man who went up to debate against Prakash and Kevin Prasad Bechan and came out first. I'm talking about Sergeant Rufus Foster. Sergeant, please. I ask you to step forward. Sergeant, tell this people here why you chose the IFP. The floor is yours. You go ahead.
Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are lovely and of good report, keep pursuing these things. Madam Chairperson, leader of the ILP,
Deputy Leader,
and other members of the head table, and you, the people of Sangre Grande, a warm and pleasant good evening to you all.
Good evening.
It happens me, and I'm very proud and happy to be at Foster's Road, and at the same time, my surname is Foster. You know, when I spoke to the political leader, I was given the permission to speak with you, the people of Sangre Grande. I was wondering what to speak about because, as you all know, there are so many things to speak about in this country. And I was wondering if I should start with the $28,000 house allowance that the president was getting, and that seemed to go at the bottom of the ground. But I was even studying about talking about the arrogance of the Speaker of the House, Wade Mark. I was thinking about talking about the arrogance of Prakash Ramadan and the fact that he has betrayed the entire nation and the COP party. I was thinking about speaking about Fuad Khan and the fact that as Minister of Health, he seemed and knows best to appeal the decision by the court in awarding $1.8 million to this young lady that they are embarrassed. And the list goes on and on. And then I said, probably, let me start first by saying why I have left the COP party and decided to join the ILP with Austin Jack Warner as my political leader. First, we must understand as a people that leadership is very important in anything you do. And when, especially for the older folks, when we consider the definition that Jesus Christ gave to his disciple in defining a good leader, I can see all those qualities, or at least most of them for the critics, in Mr. Jack Warner. First, I must say that just being here this evening, I can feel the synergy and warmth and love. And this is why for almost 2 years, while attending General Council meeting of the COP party, I could not pray with them. So after the national anthem, Rufus Foster take his seat and indulge in a reading of papers or some other thing I will indulge in while they pray. And I must put that prayer in inverted commas. And then I realized it makes any sense, doesn't make any sense at all, that when time for praying that you are cold, you know definitely your spirit is not connected with the divine forces. And you need to get out. And to get out quickly.
That's right.
Now let's go back quickly to what our good Lord Jesus Christ, for those Christians, the qualities that he defined as a good leader. And let's see and compare that with Prakash Ramada and Mr. Jack Warner. The first thing Jesus Christ said is that a good leader must feed his followers, must take care of his followers. Is that happening with Prakash Ramada? Absolutely not.
Super Minister.
Absolutely not. A good leader must show justice among his followers, equal justice, treat them equally. That is not happening with Prakash Ramada. So we know definitely that he will, of course. And one very important thing that we need to look at when we are defining or when we want to choose our leaders is that they must be prepared to sacrifice their own lives on behalf of their followers. And that you will never ever get with Prakash Ramada. On the contrary, Prakash Ramada has sacrificed a whole party, 148 plus persons, thousands, for his own political ambitions. You imagine that? Totally contrary to what the good Lord has defined as a good leader, Prakash Ramada is the complete opposite of that. And then I know, based on my religious upbringing, I need to get out from that COP party before the good Lord find that I do not need to be around here. Get out quickly. And in doing so, I humbly apologize to all the leaders that I knew from I was about 4 years old. Those leaders who had taught me at Sunday schools, those who had taught me at schools, those who were leaders while I was in the military. I must apologize to them sincerely for the fact that I have spent 2 years too long in the Congress of the People's Party under a political leader called Prakash Ramada. Now there is one, I can pray here, I can feel a sense of hope, and I do hope that as I partner with Jack Warner, our political leader, that you will give him the support that he needs because he fits that bill that the good Christ talk about. I have called him and I've checked it. I have called him some 15 times within the last 2 weeks. And to every time I called him, there was an answer, not a voicemail. There was an answer. And I've texted him about 6 times, and there was an immediate response coming back. On the contrary, there was about some 50 times that I've called Prakash Ramadan, no answer, no answer, no answer, always voicemail. And one time when I decided to text him and ask him, what was the reason or what is the reasons that you are not responding? There still wasn't any answer.
Get down.
And when I saw him personally, he told me that I am bullying him and walked off. I did not see anything in the good book that says this is how the leader must behave. And I'm saying, now that I have dedicated this entire month to be in the struggle with you all, and mind you, the struggle is not hard. I want to repeat, the struggle is not hard. I know that we are a bit confused, but one thing we are sure about is that we need change.
Yes.
We are quite certain that we need change. And it is for that reason that people like Rocky Garcia, that I admire his courage in stating that also. The problem I think we have is that we, the politicians, that are convinced that we need change, that we must make it easy for you who have to select and put change in the country. You must not be in a position whereby that come November the 8th, things remain the same. And I'm urging the politicians, September the 7th, thanks, I'm urging all politicians that they need to come together in ensuring that your task is not a difficult one. I thank you.
The Cops lost our game. And I want to say the same thing as I've been had by chairman, by deputy political leader and others. I think that Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes,
And I am quite pleased and touched, Mr. Foster, for the decision you have made.